colder weather. He seems to be a cold and very quick reply from Nakamura, the Sicilian defense. This shows ambition. Nakamura's really kind of veered towards the Sicilian. Just in recent times, he was playing e5 religiously for around a decade. And nice to see him spice things up. This shows certain ambition.
And Hikaru has switched things around. I also saw him play the Hikaru card, but he's got the wind in his sails. He drew his first 2 games, and then after that it's been a catalogue of victories. And well, what do we have here? With g6, Hikaru signaling that he wants to play an accelerated dragon.
Yeah, fascinating stuff. Firstly, Andrey Esipenko switching things up. We saw him in previous days, for example, in his draw against Fabiano Caruana. We saw him open with d4 where he lost to play the Catalan. Now going e4 shows aggression, and he definitely did not expect this one. I haven't really seen Nakamura play pawn to g6 that often. He used to be famous for the dragon itself, the Sicilian dragon, and not this accelerated version, but he really kind of steers clear from any long opening kind of theory these days. What do you think, Ivanka? Because this move g6 does allow white to go for the Maroczy bind.
This is what I was going to ask you, right? When you're surprised, do you go close? Do you establish that bind, which is to go c2, c4? Or do you play into the main line, make it cutting edge?
Yeah, there are various approaches here for white. If you're feeling very ambitious, you'll play the move pawn to d4 first. You can actually mix and match it with c4 and next move d4. You can also play the slightly more modest pawn to c3, which a lot of top players have been doing in recent times against g6. It's kind of deterred black players from playing the accelerated dragon, going into what we call the c3 Sicilian, just having kind of forced black to commit.
That's a good idea, actually. I forgot about that alternative.
Yeah,
even though I played it myself.
Yeah, it's kind of come back into fashion, pawn to c3, after players realised that in the English opening, I'll just do a quick random tangent, but in the English opening after c4, e5, g3, black players, all the elite these days play pawn to c6 either now or on the next move, for example here, and it's a transposition to the position we'll actually see on the board, just with white here having one extra move, but that means Nakamura in the opening we have here would have one fewer move if white plays pawn to c3.
Well, if he does play c2, c3, then the position will become very, very closed, and it will be all about manoeuvring. Hikaru these days has a quite positional style. Have been traded off. What is happening here?
Yeah, pieces have been traded off, and I think we're about to see a peace agreement between Esipenko and Nakamura. Look at Naka's face, shaking his head. He's not happy. But actually, it's just been a really well-played game from both sides. The last move, let's just show the last couple of moves in this position. Black under some severe pressure. He had to play e5. He did play it, but after bishop takes knight, if you take back on g6, the e5 pawn will drop, so he had to take the other bishop. Queen to h5, peace sacrifice from Esipenko. But this will simply end in a perpetual check and a draw. We'll see the shuffle between the queen and king. White cannot bring any other pieces to the attack, more importantly, and therefore must force the draw. We'll see a handshake any moment, Ivanka.
Yes, we will see a handshake as the players get ready to repeat moves. And Hikaru looks quite annoyed with himself. Can we rewind and see whether it was obligatory for Hikaru to accept that bishop?
Yeah, so after bishop c7, bishop d3, you mean instead of playing e5 or
No,
later down the road?
later down the road, so
Okay.
e5. And then, yeah, it was here. I was wondering whether it was possible to go queen to d7.
Queen d7, I guess the problem is at the very minimum, white can just take on h7. I think that might be even stronger, and then jump in with a rook check. At the end, winning back the piece, and at the very end, black's actually left with a horrible structure. Most likely white would have a decent advantage, and that's why we see pawn takes bishop and this drawing mechanism.
Totally. And there we see again, players are repeating the moves. They should just make eye contact with each other and just agree the draw.
Yeah, nothing else Esipenko can really do here. Unless he's going to try and be flashy and throw in like knight b6 for some reason, just attack the rook. And only after the knight's captured, then make a draw. Always more fun to make a draw when you're two pieces down rather than one.
I tell you what else Esipenko can do, but it requires being
We predicted that one. It was the queen and pawn a game, the race, and a draw in the end. So lots of draws so far, but this one has been a bit spectacular. It's been short and sweet, Ivanka. This clash between Esipenko and Nakamura. I think Naka shaking his head, maybe not to do with the game where Esipenko played really well, but just he's disappointed his winning streak will be over. Okay, we will likely see the handshake now, and there we go, it's a draw.
Yeah, the arbiter has been summoned, and the players are showing to her that yes, they have repeated the position 3 times, and it is a draw on top board. So that means all 3 of the tournament leaders, they were on 4 points, they have now moved to 4.5 points out of 6. And as we saw in the standings, there was a massive pack of people on 3.5 points. Anyone who wins will be joining the leaders.
Yeah,
And there we can see on the camera Esipenko and Hikaru just discussing the game. I agree, it was like a great game, very classy. I loved Esipenko's knight to e5. Just when Hikaru looked to have gotten the momentum, but no, it was swiftly neutralized. And well, you mentioned the action will be happening around boards 3 to 10. And again, if we were to read the evaluation bar, don't forget your what's it called? Lanyard.
Lanyard.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hikaru and Esipenko. Nice to see the camaraderie there as they discuss